Our sponsors this month are Shropshire Drone Services. If you're looking for aerial video or photography in Shropshire, then they can help you. Go to shropshiredroneservices.co.uk or speak to Matt at 07800 689 209. Whether you're looking for crisp video or perfect photography from anywhere in Shropshire, they can help you. They come highly recommended from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. We asked them for some help with our website, and they delivered crisp, perfect footage of our town in Shrewsbury. That's shropshiredroneservices.co.uk. You will not be disappointed, folks. Hi guys, and welcome to our Drawn 2023 coverage. This is the first of 3 podcasts we're going to be releasing. That's going to be our coverage over the 2 days of Drawn. I appreciate it's taken a while to come out, but these collections of conversations that we got, they take a bit of while to put together. It's a bit like a huge giant jigsaw, so it's taken a bit of a while, but it's fantastic. I'm so happy that we did what we did, and yeah, this is day number 1. Okay, so this episode we created a bit of a problem for ourselves. So we didn't take the H6, which is a portable microphone, so I could have gone to people's stands and spoken to them, but we kind of anchored ourselves in a spot where we were having to ask people to leave their stands and come and speak to us, which wasn't always possible because he got super busy at times. And Luke Crump, you know, one of the most popular exhibitors at Drawn, he actually did. He left his stall to come and speak to us, which I'm very, very grateful for, because his conversation and his chat with us was really, really nice, actually. So thank you, Luke, for that. The day 2 is very much more mobile because we took the H6, but even so, this one is so brilliant. There's like a constant theme of how artists manage what they do professionally, emotionally, mentally. It seems to be reoccurring in this, so I really like this. And so if once you finish this, go on to day 2, and there's also a feature podcast I've released featuring an interview with the co-creator of The Walking Dead, Charlie Adlard. And the reason why I've put him by himself is so that the grassroots independent artists that feature on days 1 and 2 can sort of stand by themselves, and the king of all independents, Charlie Adlard, has his own episode too, because you know, The Walking Dead being one of the highest grossing independent graphic novels, comic books of all time, it's kind of nice contrast. I really like that. So once you finish this, go on to day 2, you know, and then to Charlie. Thank you so much to everybody that helped us, everyone that spoke to us, to Leon as well, to Cherie for putting this on, and the Flax Mill. I won't go on too much. I'm going to go and let you enjoy this podcast. This is day number 1 of Drawn 2023. Enjoy. Hi guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley.
And I'm Leon Whiteley.
Yes, we're Drawn again for the 3rd year in a row. I'm so excited. I'm seeing old faces that I cannot wait to speak to, and people that we haven't really got the interviews with yet. We've been here 3 years, and there's so many great artists here that it's sometimes hard to get around everybody. So I'm really, really excited. We're at the Flax Mill, a great location, and no Verity today. It's the weekend after the London Marathon as we're recording this, and I was like, you go and have fun this weekend, don't worry about the biscuit. She said she might drop in at some point though, but I've got my trusty co-host who's done co-hosting duties on the biscuit before.
This is my first time here though.
Yeah,
with these type of people, but you know, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah. We've got you can hear some music in the background. That's DJ Rags. Definitely want to get him. We don't own the rights to any of that music, so I've got Gary Drew within throwing distance, spitting distance. I don't know how you say that, but I can see him, so he's going to be one of the first people I'm going to speak to. Cherie is about as well, and Pearl. We'll grab them. And we've got, I saw Matt Sewell who's over there. If you don't know who Matt Sewell is, on the side of the Shrewsbury Arc, there's a giant white bird, and outside Montgomery's, the Weatherspoons in town, there's those birds there. He's responsible for that. He's one of the most famous bird artists in the country. So really looking forward to speaking to him. And there's lots of people here that we've never got before. So anyway, what's your exposure to art? What kind of art do you like?
There's many types of art. There's music, there's physical art, and there's movies, and there's stand-up comedies and bits like that.
And podcasting.
Podcasting, of course. Obviously me. But no, I used to draw a lot. I'm not very good, but I use drawing as a way to relax my mind. And say, for instance, I'm in college at the moment, so when I'm studying for a long period of time, I'll go into it's called an ALN room, where basically you go sit around, you just do whatever you want. And I just draw and see what happens. Do
you like to look at art, though? Is there any art that you look at and it actually moves you? Any paintings, any posters? Is there anything that you look at and you think, oh, that's so beautiful?
Well, I like landscapes. They're quite nice, I like looking at
We've definitely got people there that can help you out with landscapes. In fact, I can see Hannah Chumley's there. She's got some great landscape stuff there. We'll get a chat with her. I'm really looking forward to this, because I feel like it doesn't matter how many times we speak to artists, we always find out something a little bit new. Now, I mentioned what we did last year with the question relay.
Oh yeah.
And I said to you, oh, we've got to do something similar to that, but not the same. And you were like, no, I want to do that. So you're going to be doing that today, aren't you?
It just seems fun and creative, I don't know.
Okay.
It turns the interviewer into the interviewed into the interviewer.
Yeah. Maybe we should have a category. Oh, this is what we should do. We should have a category thing. You got to ask them a question on a certain category for the next go. So it's not like we'll make it interesting. We'll try and make it as interesting as we possibly can. But that's what we're going to do. So I think the first person we're going to grab, because on the last two shows when Gary Drew opened up for us, we'll go find him. But thank you so much for joining me, Leon.
You're welcome.
It's going to be good. Let's go see who we can find. Right, we did say we were going to grab Gary Drew first, but he went for a coffee as soon as I said it. So, well, I was looking for.
I never mind. I don't mind being someone's coffee standing.
No. To be fair,
I'm joking.
We're with DJ Rags, and this is the perfect person to start with, because you're the steering wheel. You're like the guide for today when it comes to the chemistry, the music, and setting the scene. That's what a DJ does, right?
Well, this is it. I've been doing it now. This is my fourth time, I think, or third time, and each time, Drawn has grown as a venue for all the local craftsmen and all the local vendors, and it's a great privilege to be asked to keep coming back, actually, to be honest with you. And so we've tried to develop a musical catalogue which allows people to come in and get drawn into the general atmosphere of the place, because the people here are absolutely wonderful,
Yeah, they are.
They really are. What they've got on display, and there's craftsmanship.
It gets busy as well, doesn't it?
It gets really, really busy.
Really big. You would see how many people turn up today.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. I'm interested because I'm with my oldest here today, Leon, talking about journeys and things like this today. And your journey is really interesting because you didn't start DJing until your later years, right?
Oh, that's right. I was actually 71 when I started DJing.
71. Have you got audio?
Yeah.
There we go. We just have to get our mics close up so we don't get the music in. But yeah, so you're in your 70s?
Yes.
What made you want to do this? Step into...
Well, I love music, and I had a busy life. I didn't retire until late, and all the time rushing around the world and all the rest of it. Suddenly I had time for myself, and I thought, what better than to fill it with music?
That's incredible.
It's really good, isn't it? I mean, teaching an old dog new tricks is definitely possible.
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah, and the thing is, you learn the whole time. And the wonderful thing is working with people. I did a course at Morley College, and that was inspirational because there was me and another 10 people. Don't think anybody over 25. from every sort of music genre and everything else, and just being with these guys was inspirational, and you opened your eyes to all sorts of new musical genres.
And I love that because it's an intergenerational bond. I guess, did they take you under their wing? Did you learn a lot from the youngsters, and did they learn a lot from you? How was that for you?
Well, it was great, and we're still in touch actually, and they're developing their careers as well, and that seems to be going well. And the interesting thing was that on the second day of my course, the tutor, who was a very experienced DJ, called me out, and I thought, oh, here we go, you know. And
look at this geezer.
Exactly. That's exactly what I expected. And he turned around and said, I just want to have a word with you, Chris, because obviously I've noticed you're a little bit older than the rest of the crew here, and but you've been listening to music for, dare I say, 50 odd years, and these guys have been listening to it for 10, 15 years. So I'm expecting far more from you in terms of the width of music that you're going to be developing than from others. So it put me, that was a really, I mean, that was wonderful because it meant he was, you know, sort of on my page and I was on his page. There was that mutual thing there, but also it gave confidence for me to go forward with, you know, what I was trying to do.
There's nothing better than bonding over music, is there?
It's fantastic, and you know, and the interesting thing, particularly with the, you know, the other people on the course, was where they sourced their music. Totally different ways from the way that I normally did.
We've gone well past the days of LimeWire.
Yeah, exactly.
LimeWire.
Yes. Yeah.
And with Napster.
I had to go and burn. I had to go along and burn my cassette recorder.
Oops, bring that out there. Right, so I don't know what we were. We had a bit of a technical issue there, but we're back. What were we talking about again? Just.
I think we were talking about when I was doing the course.
And the guy singled you out and was
that's right.
Your musical experience.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what anybody that steps into something later on in life has got, that experience. Experience is worth everything, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And you know, I think the hardest thing is actually having the confidence really to use what you know. And I don't think it just applies to DJing, it applies to everything else, you know, because, you know, obviously life moves on and things get technically different, but at the end of the day, the basic knowledge that you pick up on the way is useful right the way through your life, and you should use it.
It's what I'm finding now when it comes to music and TV and stuff. Is, I'm going back and revisiting things that maybe I breezed over when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I hit it with a new appreciation. You're 17.
Yeah.
Do you find that in life? Do you ever go back and like, I didn't feel like this way about this thing, but now I love it?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. You know, mainly with music, obviously, because I used to be in a lot of weird stuff. But now I'm more into like the classics and, you know, rock music a bit more.
Yeah, so many people are going back to rock music again, you know, sort of the old bands and what have you. I have so many sons of friends of mine, and the music they listen to, I find it's amazing, you know. They're sort of resurrecting, you know, bands which I haven't listened to for a long time, and it all comes back fresh. But what I'm trying to do now is, and that's one of the reasons I've started doing this production course, is to try and represent music from the 60s, earlier even, 70s and what have you, you know, bringing it in a more accessible way, so, you know, that they fit into the type of music that people, you know, like to listen to today, whether it's...
Elton John's just done that, hasn't he, with Britney Spears. We did a song together, and it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, actually, he is really inspirational in that, because, you know, he's using all his musical skills and he's working with younger artists, and suddenly his tunes start fresh to a whole new generation, and I think that's exactly it. Obviously, Mr. Johns is a little bit more talented than I am, but to put it
Only a little
mildly,
bit, though. Only a little bit.
to put it very, very mildly. But no, but that is an inspiration, and I'm trying to follow in my way in those sort of footsteps, because it's a wonderful way forward.
I think it's phenomenal what you're doing. Honestly, your stories. I tell people all the time about you.
Oh, that's
I am
very kind.
I know a DJ that got into DJing when he was in his 70s and was absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
I think it's a phenomenal story. I really do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, most important thing is the music, and the thing that I've been fortunate is that when I played my music, the audience have loved it, and I find that sort of it's quite humbling, really, in a way, because sort of you're putting something forward and you have no idea how it's going to be received, and to have such positive feedback has been something that spurred me on.
Amazing. Have you been doing any live events as well?
I have, yes.
I'm a bit drawn, but clubs and things.
Yeah, I haven't done pubs yet, but that's next on the agenda, and I've just got a whole lot of new equipment coming to help me do that, and hopefully by the next time we talk, I would have got one or two of those.
Well, if you go to an event, a local event, give us a shout. I'll come. I'd love.
I'd love you to, and thank you so much.
I'll be there in the front. I'll be there in the front row.
And thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much for your support. It means a great deal to me, actually, to be honest.
Well, if anything, music creators are the biggest supporters in the world. Because obviously, as a teenager myself, life's hard at the moment for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And obviously, COVID and stuff has just gone and come. Music is a big helper of that, because people can escape their minds. But with music, it creates an image for you. So making music like this helps millions and millions of people. So if anything, you're the one who deserves a thank you. If you're the one making the music.
Well,
that's really good. Well done.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing what you've just said. Actually, that's an amazing
Youth
thing.
of today, man.
Yeah.
Leading the way.
Exactly,
just like my dad.
Right. Exactly.
Where can people find you if they want to listen to your stuff, or if they want to follow you online or anything like that?
Right, on Spotify and on SoundCloud. That's my main thing. But I'm about to put a whole new series of playlists on SoundCloud in the next month. So if they tune in a few weeks' time.
And that's Rags, RAGGS.
That's correct, yeah.
Wonderful.
DJ Rags. Yeah.
DJ Rags.
Yeah.
I love you, man. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you so much.
I hope you have a great day and enjoy drawing.
Yeah, that's great.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Oh, actually, question relay.
Yes.
You got to think of a question. So what we got to do is you've got to ask the next guest a question, but you don't know who we're going to be speaking to.
Right.
Then we're going to ask them a question. We're going to keep getting them going all day.
Oh gosh, I'm hopeless at something like that. My mind goes blank. The obvious one I could think of is what's inspired you to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
What's inspired you to do what you're doing? Okay, we'll ask the next guest that one.
Yeah.
I'll get that written down. I've got a to-do list up here. I'm gonna write it on there. So fantastic, DJ Rags, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you again.
And you. Here we go. Well, I did say at the beginning, we're going to grab Gary Drew first, right? And then you went for coffee, and I was like, it's good.
I went for a full breakfast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it good?
I was all right, yeah. Vegetarian, all healthy.
Vegetarian? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's not like me at all.
No prejudice. No prejudice. We are what we are. We are who we are. How have you been, Gary Drew? You've been good?
Really busy, yeah. Spent most of this year so far in Sweden and Norway. Painting murals over there, and hopefully I'll get a bit of time now to concentrate on my painting. I think
you and Matt Sewell are the artists I talk about the most in Shrewsbury.
Oh right, I
cool. mention you all the time. I'm always like, yeah, you see the pink flamingo down there in Frankwell?
Oh yeah, it's apparently it's changed hands now. Sam from there has sold it on. There's a new company taken over. They've been in touch with me about changing all the designs and everything.
Hey, yep.
I know, and actually possibly getting rid of the pink flamingo and everything else.
It's a bit Club Cabana, isn't it? Club Cabana.
I think so, yeah. But they did approach me. I've not heard anything since, so the chances are it possibly won't be me doing anything down there. However, there's still you've got Osteria in Mardle. Which the food is absolutely amazing. I'm booked in to go there tonight.
Really? Nice.
Definitely. The guy is amazing. And I've got the paintings in there, which is the full stretch of the walls from top to bottom.
I was just talking to my son here about art that grabs you.
Yeah.
Art that you look at and you get an emotional attachment to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That does something to me. And I was like, your art does that to me. It's I know it's probably a really cringy thing to hear.
Oh, yeah.
You're amazing. I love you so much.
Yeah.
But like with your art, I feel like you make it easy for someone to fall in love with your art because of the little hidden messages you throw inside your art.
There's lots of things in there. There's things in there that people have sold, and I think they'd be horrified to know what's in there if they've sold it. Jonathan at the Soden Gallery sold a painting. It was a Freddie Mercury one, and it was a lot of stuff to do with Freddie Mercury's life. And obviously everyone knows what Freddie Mercury's life was like.
Yeah, a bit sordid.
Yeah, very sordid, and there was a lot of hidden things in there which I don't think Jonathan even realises.
I think you may have explained that to me.
Yeah, there's a couple of little matchstick men doing some pretty dubious things.
So when it comes to art, what are the kids today talking about when it comes to artists? Is it all Banksy, spray paint art? I mean, like, what inspires you?
Well, I mean, like I said, like I thought with yours, I was walking past, the first thing that catches my eye is like, I don't know, like the Joker and all that, and the like Spider-Man and stuff, and that'll catch the eye because it's the most popular things these days.
Yeah.
You're a lot closer, there's more into it, I guess, that's what it is. You know, you've got to catch the eye. You've got to catch the eye, I guess.
Yeah, I think that I get told a lot of the time it's the colours I use. I think years ago, it sounds a bit daft, I used to paint the artwork on bouncy castles, and there was a girl that was working, and I swear, I don't know how she did it, but she was using exactly the same paint as us, but when her bouncy castles were blown up, they just looked amazing. The colours were just fantastic. So it was the way she put the colours together. And as I say, she was using the same pots of paint as us, but mine never looked like hers. And I used to follow her around and found out how she put the colours together. And it's at the time, I'd been to art college and you know about complementary colours, but I didn't realise that it made that much of a difference. And over the years, I've checked it out and used complementary colours, used other colours that look good together.
I love that. You didn't come up with an original concept and be like, well, if it's not working, fine. You've gone, no, let's find something that's working and you keep looking at it. You know.
Yeah, this has been an ongoing thing for the last 40 years. It's not. I've never. I always think to myself, people always say, oh, well, that's great, and you don't sit back on your laurels and thinking, yeah, that's it now. I'm always thinking, oh, I'll look for something else, because I swear I've had 7-year-old children coming up to me and saying, can I do something? And people have gone, oh, leave him alone, he's a professional artist. And I'm like, no, do it. And they've done it, and I swear there's 2 people in particular, and I'm just thinking, how has that person, 7-year-old person, just done that, blown my socks off with what they've just done, and I couldn't get my head around how they'd done it. And I still use the things that they showed me on that day.
Well, we live in the town of Doodle Boy, you know. The young boy got in trouble for doodling in school, when actually that's all he wanted to do, and now he's a worldwide superstar.
I think so. Yeah. I heard. I've seen him bits of him. I get snippets of him through the Jonathan on his page. Yeah. But he's doing well. Hats off to him.
We've asked Leon here, what inspires you with art? What inspires you these days with art? What catches your eye?
Oh man, it's just something a bit like Doodle Boy. All I wanted to do in school was draw, and all I ever do is draw. But there's not enough time in the day for drawing. I'll go to work and I'll do the job that I have to do, like when I've been away painting the murals. But then when I finish at night, I'll go home and I'll go to the restaurant and take my sketchbook and I'll be drawing cartoon characters in the restaurant. and doing stuff there, and I'm just all the time drawing, doing something.
I guess it's a good way to take your mind off things, isn't it? Because you like making music, don't you?
Yeah, and I used to make a lot of music when I was younger, because obviously I fell in love with music from a very young age, because I dealt with a lot of depression and stuff, and I found that it helped me a lot. So I also tried a lot of drawing and stuff, and I found, even though I'm not very good at drawing, the end product is always satisfying in a way, and you get to say like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, but I just, to be quite honest, I don't draw because I'm good at it. I draw because I enjoy it, and I'm probably good at it because I draw so much. But I've never drawn for any particular goal or any reason other than I enjoy doing it.
Well, that makes commissions easier, doesn't it?
Well, actually, no. The commissions is a totally different thing altogether, because I've got to the point now where when people ask me to do commissions and they'll ask me to do a certain thing, and I'll be like, no. Like either I won't do it because your idea is really crazy and that's my name going on it, or I won't do it because it doesn't work.
That's cool.
But the
integrity.
Well, I've done a lot and I've been working a lot, and sometimes somebody might say to me, "Can you do it?" And I'm thinking, I can't. In fact, I've got a job now somebody's asked me to do, and I can't do it in the way I'd like to do it. So I said to them, I'm going to have to think about it, and it might take me a couple of months to get my head around it and work out how to do it. But some people ask me to do really ridiculous things that I just refuse to do.
Yeah. It's important not to take on more than you can.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, that is like the story of the biscuit guy. Yeah. What have you done today? Well, do you know what? Today I did an interview yesterday. I got to and by the end of the week, you follow me on Facebook. I'm just by the end of it, I'm like.
Yeah, I find it hard to say no when people ask me to do things, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'll try my best. And I do let people down, and I feel really bad for doing it sometimes. But I'm just a lot of it just goes under the radar, and I forget. Something else comes in.
It's difficult to keep that.
Well, I've actually got a question. I got into art, and the one thing I cannot draw are hands, noses, and ears. Is there anything you can't draw or find hard to draw?
Great question.
Yeah, at the moment, I probably, if you were to ask me, I'd probably struggle more with portraits. But like if it's famous people and everything, there's that, you can look at a famous person who looks, you can tell who it is, possibly not a good likeness, but there's that many different images of them from different angles that they never look exactly the same.
That's why Kevin Smith, when he always does his poses in front of the camera, he's always straight on.
Yeah.
And he does his silent Bob pose, because for that reason, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just really strange, but they're that much of an iconic item that it doesn't matter how badly you draw them, it'll probably look like them.
Yeah.
So I tend to do that. I tend to do famous people rather than just random people. I don't particularly do.
Because you used to do horses, right? That's
another thing. I'm looking at getting back into that.
Oh, really?
And, today I was supposed to be bringing a painting to do of a polo.
Okay.
I did polo in the 80s, and I'm trying to get back into polo now. I've actually got a meeting in the next couple of weeks. And I'm looking at getting paintings back in and getting more involvement with Chester Polo Club.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so that's something that is absolutely new. And
old and new, I guess.
It's old from the 80s, but new as in that's the direction I'm looking at going at the moment.
I know we've been running for nearly 10 minutes now. Just 10 minutes, as I said that. But I want to ask you, because we've got a Wrexham local here. Your Wrexham College days, because I put something on Facebook. You're like, I went to Wrexham Art College. Can we talk about those days? What were those days like for you?
A bit of a haze, because it was like I just left home, 16 years old, straight into art college. In those days, it was like quite party atmosphere, and I literally partied from the day I got there till the day I left.
I've actually got, sorry, I didn't mean to overtake. Okay. I got a question for you. What art project made you think I need to go to college for that?
It was only in the early days. I didn't do particularly well in school because all I wanted to do was draw. The options I had in those days, back in the 80s, was go to join the army. It was like 1980, and it was like my options, because I didn't do well in school, was like, oh yeah, just go in the army. and get a career in the army, which I didn't fancy doing. And I didn't know about art college, and then I found out that there was an art college in Wrexham. I applied to go there, and then that was it. And it was a 4-year course. It turned out to, in the end, to be the equivalent of a degree.
Wow.
And I thought, like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And I did it, managed to scrape through and get it. But there was nothing particularly there that I just like drawing and painting. I just wanted to find out how to draw and paint. And they just taught you the basics of all sorts of things, colours, shading.
Are there things you pick up on the road, or for life experiences that are more valuable than, say, a college or say a university?
Oh God, yeah. I really struggle. There was lots of things that I wasn't aware of as a child. Like, I think the possibility is a little bit of dyslexia where I can't. If I read something, I can just read it and it doesn't sink in. I read the page and it goes straight in, straight out, and I can't remember. The biggest thing was I've actually got no depth perception, which I didn't know about.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until probably about 6 years ago. I realised I had an eye test, and the person that gave me the eye test had actually bought lots of paintings off me, and explained the reason they bought the paintings was the amount of depth that I get in my paintings, and then couldn't believe that I've got no actual depth perception.
That's so brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that. Imagine not having any depth perception, but right in the mood. Because your stuff is deep as well.
Yeah.
So many dimensions to it.
But again, that was down to techniques and reading up on the old masters and finding out how they got depth into the paintings. So I've looked into that, realised how they did it and how they managed to do things, and then worked it that way.
Well, Gary, I think you're fantastic. I always love chatting to you.
Cheers.
I really do. And we've got a question relay. Remember we did it last year?
Oh, right.
So I said to Leon, I was like, we need to do something like the question relay, but a little bit different. He was like, no, we'll stick to the classics. Yeah. We've only done it twice this year. We're going to bring it back. So the question from DJ Rags for you is, I guess it's what inspired you to do what you're doing? I guess we've kind of covered that a little bit, but is there any more you can add on to what inspires you to do what you're doing?
I think my dad was a big part in my life, and he was an artist, and when he was younger he was a bit of a man's man, and I think he really regretted not going to art college. He actually became an engineer. Wow. But he always painted and drew whenever he could, and I think that's the inspiration I got was there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it was, but then later on in life he did go more and do a lot more art. But I think he really wished he'd carried on doing it from an early day. And in fact, there was 2 children in the class. He was one of them, and there was another guy that was in the class with him. I can't remember his name offhand. From Hartlepool, who is now one of Britain's top artists, and he's based on the borders. So he's up there. He paints a lot of scenes of like the old docks and things like that, which is where my dad was in Hartlepool, down at the docks.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah, so I think my dad was a little bit wished he'd carried on, because the 2 of them were the best artists in the class.
Wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
Your old man.
So what would you be advice to those who want to get into art but are too scared to go to college? Or
My God, my advice was probably run away.
Yeah, run away.
Yeah, I think there's so much more with art now that like when I was first doing it, all I wanted to do was draw, and all I knew about was drawing. Nowadays, you've got the likes of Charlie Adlard and Mike Perkins. And right,
there he is.
There he is.
Say his name when he appears.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then and they doing all the cartoons. You've got theatre drawings. You've got loads of things now. That, like so many different things to paint, and so many different avenues. Muralists and all sorts.
We're living in a TikTok, Instagram world.
Oh my God, so much. It opens up everything. So there's a lot more out there. A lot more that you can see out there and know. When I was younger, there was no internet, nothing, so you didn't know anything really.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant advice. Fantastic. We got to finish off with a question for the next guest. You don't know who we're going to speak to. Make it something challenging though, something spicy. Right. I love seeing the cogs tick.
Yeah. is this the job that you really wanted to do, and or would you have done something else?
That's good. That's a great one.
Really good.
Love it. It's fantastic. Well, Gary, fantastic to chat to you as always. Where can people follow
pleasure.
you and maybe buy art from you?
It's www.garydrew.com.
Very easy to remember that one is. Never going to forget that. Gary, thank you so much for chatting.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
And we're in. I found Mike Perkins having a good wander around.
I am. It's nice not to be selling, just to wonder.
Is it a lot of pressure then? Because I went to speak to Luke Crump, and bless him, he was setting up his stall at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, in a minute," like because it's a lot, isn't it?
It is when you're setting up. It's a lot, especially when it's great when nobody's around and you can set up. But when people are coming in and you're trying to set up, it's like,
because they're looking at your stuff and they're asking you questions.
What's worse is when you're taking it apart and then you put everything away and then somebody comes up and
can I have that one? You just put away. I think that was last year. They were putting things away. I was putting things away quite early, and I had that same situation. And I was kind of like, "I gotta go, man! You gotta be ruthless. You gotta put your foot down."
Well, you had to run off to the football last.
I'm doing the same today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing the same today because my wife was like, "It's the last weekend home game,
right?
And you're going to be there." And I was like, "Okay, you got to do as you're told." I'm sorry, it's my wife that's putting the foot down on this one, I'm afraid. So I can't.
Well, last time we were here as well, we had me and your wife had that surreptitious agreement. This is where I dropped off your Christmas present last time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we need to talk about this because it's a secret operation. Okay. So
it was almost like a proper, really bad drug deal going down. It was.
She told me all about it. So. Mike worked on, you say Constantine, don't you? Constantine.
Yeah.
I say Constantine. I don't know. I can't argue with a DC artist about how to pronounce the name, but I've always said so. One of my favourite comic book characters of all time is John Constantine, and Mike is brilliant. Honestly, we talk about how art moves you.
Yeah.
There's a picture of Constantine with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth with the rain in the background. That always whenever I used to see it, I used to be like, "Oh, that's how you vision that character. That's how you see him," and you pictured that perfectly. So my wife, because I think I put on Facebook, I genuinely mean it. I genuinely wanted that piece of art. So my wife for Christmas was chatting to Mike about how to acquire this art.
Well, that was actually a pre-commission, which I'd done, and then she got in touch with me, and I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it for Alex. So I drew it again, put a little bit of difference on there, so it was, it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah.
And then
he's got the skull going in the smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll show you when we get in. So my wife is now saying that we need to get a Mike Perkins collection going. So I need 2 more to add to it. So thank you so much for doing that.
It really is a drug deal, isn't it? The first one is free.
And that's what happened in Drawn last year. I love that. The next one's going to cost you, kid. Last year, so you may remember from our coverage from last year, we only came for like an hour or so to walk around. And while I was interviewing Mike, I think your wife was chatting to my wife, and they were passing over the pictures.
Yeah. Giving the money.
So was that something like did Kaz say to you, if you interview Alex, I'll get it done? Was that pre-planned, or was that just happening that organically?
No, it just happened that way. I did say to her, I'll bring it in and drop it off with you at the show.
Yeah. And Timmy's got one of your Captain Americas as well.
Oh yeah, the Prince.
Absolutely adores. Comic book art is something that I feel like once you find the best thing about comic books is I feel like while you're reading those books, you kind of become that.
Yeah.
There's certain things, certain strengths you can take out of a comic book.
Right.
And I think that's why I was a geek in school, so I can say this, but I think there's a lot of lonely sort of geeks sort of take from that.
Yeah.
And it adds a bit of strength. Do you read comic books at all?
Not as much as I used to, no.
I love it, honestly. Like, reading some of my happiest days, lying in my bed reading Spawn. Spawn was my jam when I was 12, 13.
Right.
I absolutely loved that sort of stuff. Do you read comic books?
Oh, yeah. I still love reading comics.
Yeah.
I get a lot because working at DC, they send you everything digitally, you know. So I read a lot of their stuff. But I read a lot of independent stuff as well.
Oh yeah, it's all good. And Shane Shebsey as well is great.
Yeah.
Great advocate for that, and he's doing a lot of the Headrec stuff. And
Yeah.
Did you work on that, or
No, simply because of the exclusive. I can't work outside of DC, you know. So.
Wow, do you know what? I never knew that.
Yeah.
So because you're working with DC, they've got a retainer on you. Then.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, you don't have to work like that. They just give you the contract, and if you sign their
If you want me
exclusivity,
exclusively, it's going to cost you more money. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, hopefully I'm about to get a job which will take up a lot of my time. So, biscuit time is going to become very, very exclusive soon.
Right.
So my time is going to be worth a little bit more.
It's going to be like a small biscuit.
Yes, it's a mini.
I don't know what a small biscuit would be.
A crumb.
A crumb.
Yeah.
The Shrewsbury crumb.
Shrewsbury crumb. And oh, thank you. I should be giving it a t-shirt. Oh, bless her. I went to look for a t-shirt and they didn't have one in my size, and she's found one and brought one.
Made it especially for you.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. Maybe they are, because they've got a thing up there.
Right.
So DC at the moment is going for I don't want to be like, tell us what you're working on. But like, it is going through a crazy transition at the moment.
Yeah. Well, especially the movie stuff.
Yeah. How much of I know we've talked about this before, when it comes to like, you know, the how comics, so like the Avengers and stuff look on a comic book compared to the movies.
Right.
And they're two separate entities. We've had that conversation before. But James Gunn loves his comic books.
Oh God, yeah.
So how much of the comic book stuff is correlating to the movie stuff? There's a lot of communication there.
When he first started to announce things, and he was showing his reading list. So there was Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, which that's what he should do, basically. Just take it verbatim. And there's certain moments in there which are gorgeous to read and to look at that could really work. I think one of the things that Snyder missed out on was the hope inherent in Superman.
It's all dark.
It's nasty, you know.
Did you like the Justice League movies?
I never really watched them, to be honest.
No? Well, I did. Do you know what, actually, it was the Justice League movie that made me completely lose integrity.
Right.
Completely, because I love Batman. I love it. And I was like, no, it's amazing. Don't say this. And they were like, are you telling me that Batman would call Alfred, and Alfred would call him Bruce, while the thug's still on the roof of him? Actually... Yeah, okay, I get it.
I think Affleck made a good Batman. He just didn't have the right material.
It's the same as Jared Leto. Jared Leto was fantastic. We didn't get the airtime, didn't get the time to show him as a Joker. Anyway, we can talk about this geek stuff. My favorite storyline, recent storyline, is Justice League Trinity War.
Oh yeah.
That was it completely converged across the whole New 52 universe. I read all of it, every single thing. You know, Constantine stealing Shazam's power is one of the most diabolical things I've ever read in a comic book. He brings him into the bar, they're all chummy having a beer, and then all of a sudden he's weak, he's got no power, he's like, ha! Off to save the day. That's why I love Constantine. This is when they do that, when they take something like, imagine if you're the Guardians of the Galaxy fan, and nobody else has heard of them, and then you find out that they're going to be doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Imagine how that must feel. Have they ever done anything that you love with movies that you thought, oh, this is right down my alley? I'm getting super excited and just throwing like random words.
I mean, the first, I'm not going to even say the first one. The second Dredd movie kind of got everything spot on. It was a bit too over the top, but it was, the character was great. So much more than the Stallone version. It was.
They can still go back and do that because...
they've talked about it. They talked about a Mega City 1
I spoke to John Wagner.
TV show, right?
So, John Wagner, who is a writer for Judge Dredd, one of the co-creators, he foresaw he saw over the making of the Sylvester Stallone movie and the recent one, more recent one, should I say, 2012, I think it was.
Right.
And I think he far prefers the newer one.
Yeah.
Because The first, so Judge Dredd.
There was a nod to Shrewsbury in there as well, wasn't there? Do you know about that?
No.
Yeah, because when John met up with the producer and the director, they met up in Shrewsbury, and they went for a meal at the Peach Tree. So that's why the block in the film is called the Peach Trees.
No way.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Wow. There you go, guys. You just heard that for the first time. Well, I've just heard it for the first time anyway. I'm sure they've covered this at cons and stuff. Like, that's fantastic. The first movie. So Judge Dredd's never meant to take his helmet off. You're not supposed to know who he is. That's whole. The first thing that Sylvester Stallone did was go, take his helmet off. I am the law.
Yeah. Actually, that you could understand that one.
I am the law. That's what we should do for all our guests. Do your best Sylvester Stallone impression. Shouting, I am the law. Anyway, we can geek out about this. What are you working on at the moment?
It's still that same thing, which I can't talk about. So,
okay. Well, we will switch off the microphones and talk about that. I'm very, very excited about it. But Action Comics is a transition for you.
Those are all out. Yeah, the Swamp Thing. Then I did the Action Comics. Then I did the. I helped out on Lazarus Planet, which was this crossover thing. I did 10 pages on that, and then that led into the new project, which actually doesn't even come out until next March. So
you're working well in advance.
Yeah.
What's the better version of you? Are you when with a bit of time to relax and recharge your batteries, or you when you've got something to stick your nose in and work?
Oh no, I love working.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me all over. I just get so engrossed with it.
Me and you were like, we must be like we're very, very close in sort of how, because that's been me. The last 2 weeks I've had off work.
Right.
I was like, I need it off to recharge. Filled up every single day. Every single day was something to do.
Yeah.
Without fail. Yesterday was ridiculous. I did an interview. It was meant to be going here and there. Today I'm doing this and then going to the football, and tomorrow I'm going. Like I
go on holiday and 2 days in, I'm like, my fingers are itching. I'm like, I've got to get back to the board.
That's amazing. So you are an artist through and through. You can't be without it. Have you got any questions for one of the biggest comic book artists on the planet?
Well,
he laughed
until Charlie comes.
A question of mine will be, if you can go back in time and steal an idea of another comic book designer, who would it be and why?
Well, that's great. It's almost the same comic book version of which song would you like to own back in history with comic books.
I think the utmost best comic character is probably Batman. You know, I mean, they weren't treated very well. I mean, Bob Kane, who created Batman, was treated fairly well because his dad was a lawyer, so he knew his way around things. But a lot of comic creators who made those characters in the 30s, they didn't, like the guys who created Superman, didn't see any money. They took the check. They were teenagers when they created him. So for them, like a $200 check in 1938 was like, yes, we've made the money.
Yeah.
And then, then they were kind of ignored afterwards. I mean, they were working on Superman. They got paid the check for working on it.
I think it didn't get credit
until 77 when the movie came out. Yeah.
Yes.
I suppose with that, though, they didn't really do it for the money. It was more for they got what was in their imagination.
Yeah. I think you find that with any artist. Yeah. It's kind of, it's about getting the creative process on the page and what you want to portray to other people to get on the page. I think that's the biggest process. The money that comes out of it is always a plus. But
when is the comic book heyday? Like, you look at music, maybe you can say the 70s, the 80s, or it was the music heyday where music evolution happened. With comic books, what is that era?
I would say it's different for different people. It's when they grew up. For me, it was the mid to late 80s. When a lot of the British guys actually started working for the American market, and they bought all that sensibility into it, all that Vertigo sensibility, that's when Constantine came out, all this kind of stuff. So I think for me, the mid 80s to late 80s,
that's 2000 AD stuff. That's
Well, 2000 AD was 77 upwards, but for American comics, that's when it transformed into this. Oh, we can talk about adult stuff. We can do different things,
That's great. I mean,
but tomorrow onwards is the best. That's
tomorrow. That's a great philosophy. Tomorrow onwards is the best era in life. So you're walking around drawn today. Is there anything that's catching your eye today?
Oh yeah, it's always nice to see Matt at the back with his birds. I love his work.
I need to grab him, but the problem with Matt is he's a lovely guy. But you get on the microphone, he's like, "Yeah, it's all great and stuff." They sat laid back. He's like, "Yeah, it's all good and stuff. Yeah, great." But I will grab him at some point. But the problem is he's by himself, I think. I'd say.
And actually, it was quite kind of surprised. We'd just come with my daughter who didn't want to be on the microphone.
We did offer.
And she bumped into one of her friends who's helping out one of her friends selling dog biscuits over there. So
that's what got chosen over coming on the Shrewsbury Biscuit today.
Yeah.
So we're doing the question relay again this year because Leon really liked it. And this is the question Leon's got to ask you.
Is this the job you always wanted to do? Or did you imagine yourself doing something else?
No, this was it. From when I was 2 years old. That was it. I wanted to be a comic artist. There was a time when I thought maybe I could, especially when Captain Britain came out, I was like, maybe I could be a superhero. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. I'll have to draw them instead.
I love that, you got that inspired as a kid by Captain Britain. And in a way, you kind of did become Captain Britain.
Right.
Through your art, right?
Yeah.
Because you personify that character, I guess.
Yeah.
Some sort of way when you...
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, like when you're drawing Batman being broody,
right?
On a gargoyle and stuff.
You're a 7-year-old again.
Yeah. Are you putting yourself as Batman? Are you kind of using a bit of empathy? Like, how would you like this? How would his face look like when you?
You have to think about that stuff. Yeah.
So in a little bit, when you're drawing Batman, Batman. This is what I'm saying.
I'm Batman.
There we go, guys. The secret's out now. Mike Perkins is Batman.
But you have to do it in like a Wolverhampton accent, I think, to make
Batman.
it. I'm Batman.
Batman. Joker. It's a Joker.
Batman and Boston. That'd be great, right? Instead of Robin, Batman and Boston.
That's what we should do. We should do a UK-US exchange of characters. That'd be so. Imagine what the Joker would look like running around Birmingham with
Well, that's what he does, right? They film it all in Glasgow and God knows where else. Yeah.
Right, so you've got a question for our next guest.
Oh, okay.
You don't know who's going, but make it something spicy, mate. We've already had what inspired you to do what you're doing, which is a great question. But
the building we're in at the moment,
the Dye House,
would it inspire you in your art in some way?
That's fantastic.
It would inspire me with what I'm drawing at the moment, but would it inspire you with your art?
Which we can't talk about. But I get it. I'm looking at it now thinking, yes, Mike, I can see how this would inspire you. Yeah. Wonderful. Anyway, thank you so much for chatting to me.
Always a pleasure.
Come for a browse and you come for a chat while you're here. So always great to chat to you.
Excellent.
Thank you. We're in. Zoenso. I don't think we spoke to you last year. Did we?
Not last. I was, yeah. Christmas.
Yeah. No, when last time we were in the flats.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Yeah, but we spoke to you. Was it the first year or the second year? I can't remember.
At the museum.
At the museum.
Yeah.
How have things been for you?
Very good. Yeah.
Very
kind
busy.
Evolving.
That's the beauty of art, though, isn't it? That's all it is your.
Yeah.
I guess you're putting your mind onto a page and it evolves constantly with experience.
Yeah.
So where does Zoenso come from as an idea?
Well, the idea, the name is kind of a sort of brand, but it's a tricky one because I'm kind of an artist and a designer, but then I also run arts workshops and printmaking workshops. So I wanted something like an umbrella to work under, and the Enzo, it has come from. It's a Japanese meaning to do with drawing a circle, painting a circle in one line, in one.
Okay.
And because I've always used circles in my work, it came from that really. So I've used the word, the end part of the word, to connect to my name.
What's that?
So it's a kind of simplicity.
What's that movie where the kid draws a perfect circle? Is it Goodnight, Mr. Tom? There's a movie where a kid draws a perfect circle, and he's like an orphan from not an orphan, refugee from World War II.
Okay.
And the old guy's like, oh, he's great at drawing, so he encourages him to draw and stuff. And he's good like Mr. Tom, definitely.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure of that. I've just always used circles in my work, and that's sort of where it came from. It's not as deep as it should be, really.
Why the circle though? I mean, there's lots of ways you can
It's a paintbrush, and the paintbrush marks. I do a lot of mark making. My work's very mark making, so the idea of like painting with a brush and you see the brush marks.
I do like that. I like that in a font as well. You know, when you use the paint mark.
Yeah.
So I use Affinity Pro, which is to make graphic design and stuff. So for years, I was taking like writing and putting like a paintbrush
to change it
over it, so you could see those strokes. I think that's kind of.
See, I do everything by hand. I'm not very computer. I don't use the computer that much. All my work is handmade, so I like cut wood blocks, and I do monoprinting, and so everything's handmade. And everything I make, even when I print a bag, it's hand printed. So with I use a print press to print everything. None of it's digital, except for some Rizzo prints to try and do a bit more commercial.
And where do you get your influences? I mean, when it comes to a commission, do you get a lot of people asking for commissions?
Not so much, no. I mainly am making work more like an artist now. I used to work as a printed textile designer, designing for fashion. But actually now I work and I make work, and it comes from inside, really. It comes from walking, it comes from unnoticed marks in nature and cities, and I just pick things up as I go. I collect things.
That's proper indie, that is.
Yeah, so it is. I kind of feel like I am working more as an artist, but I didn't really train as an artist. I trained as a designer.
Oh wow, okay. So that it must be nice to have that freedom, though.
Yeah, I can do that because I run arts workshops. So it's like there's two jobs. You know, you always got to. I think all artists, designers, a lot of people have got to like juggle their work. So.
Where do you get a lot of your ideas from? Is it from like walking around, dreams, movies?
Yeah, everything, just anything and everything. More sort of being outside.
Yeah.
Outside, yeah. So I am quite very nature-based and walking, and Shropshire and being here. But then I love going to cities, and I get just as much out of going to a city as I do walking in the countryside.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the city yesterday actually. With Mandy, who's a life coach, and she was talking about how when she comes from London to back up into the Shire, how things can be a bit like from the city. Like she loves the city. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to sort of
go between the. I used to live in London. I used to live in London and thought, I want to get out of London. When you live there, you want to get out of there, and you want to live somewhere else, and you want to come back to Shropshire. Came back to Shropshire. Actually, I love going back now. So
as a tourist,
it's nice
or as
to
like
have both. My daughter's at uni there, so I go down and see her now.
I think every time I'm in London, I'm always like, right, we've got 5 minutes to get from here to there. Go, and then you take pictures. Right, we're gonna go find a meal. Go. It's always a rush when I'm in London.
I don't know. I feel now I'm out of it. When you live there, you don't really do as much as you would. But when you don't live there, I feel now I don't go back. I don't feel as much as I'm going back as a tourist. I feel like I go back and I just try and just be there.
One of the things I've talked about on the Shrewsbury Biscuit quite a bit is how difficult it actually is to become a tourist in your own town.
Yeah, that is tricky, yeah.
Because
there's probably loads of things I don't know about Shrewsbury, because I don't think I've been a tourist in Shrewsbury.
Well, the flax mill right here, how many people that are listening to this now, honestly, can say that they've been to visit the flax mill?
No, I've not done the tour, but I have run an arts workshop here for the Hive.
Yeah.
So I have in this actual building.
Big shout out to the Hive.
Yeah, it was really lovely and set up. And when I came here, they had all the old doors and all the old fireplaces. Everything was in here. I think it was before they started renting it, using it for this. It's an amazing building. I remember
I interviewed James Hitchin, I think it was, who used to own the Owl and Bombos, and we sat right where this desk is here, and we just set up a camping table. It was completely empty, and it was just because they were like, "Well, we're here." I think they were doing a bit like this, but with food and drink and stuff.
In here?
Yeah. And you had like music going and stuff. It was like a little festival there going in.
It's good in here with lots of music. Well, Cherie's got all the music playing. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I've got what we're doing today. First of all, actually, before we get into this, because it's all segue, if somebody wants to look at your art, buy a bit off you, how would they do that?
Do you mean online?
Online, yeah.
I have got an online shop, but actually because of the nature of what I make, like the earrings that I make are offcuts of the prints that I do, and I used to put them all online, and it's really difficult because every single piece I make is unique.
Yeah.
And I have a nightmare, so I've actually taken all the jewellery offline at the moment. I might, after this, maybe put some back on.
You should do like a pick and mix.
Yeah, I did think about that, yeah.
Like you get what you... Because you know, those loot crates and things like that.
Yeah.
Beer 52 as well. These kind of places where they give you a box of whatever.
Yeah.
Like a subscription.
So I have the prints are easier. They are all online. So I do have a shop. I have an online shop, zoenso.co. So I do have a shop, but I don't put huge amounts. I probably have more when I do a stall here or at a different fair.
I guess if you have die-hard fans of what you do, they're going to buy the jewellery because they know what they're getting.
Yeah. I kept trying to stop making it, but because I wanted to be doing more printing.
Yeah,
but
of course,
actually, it's a sideline and it's good. So
yeah, of course. What we're doing today is we're doing a question relay.
Okay.
We did this before. So we've got a question from the world famous Mike Perkins for you, and then you're going to ask questions for the next guest. You don't know who's going to be. So Mike's question to you is, I'll let Leon read this. This is his job.
All right. Do you think this building will inspire you to draw anything else?
Draw. Yeah, definitely. I don't really draw architectural buildings, but I think what I would get out of this building, I'll go away and I'll make texture.
Yeah?
So it'll be the textures. So not so much the drawing, maybe the lines, but I don't really draw. Yeah, I'm not that kind of artist.
But this would still inspire your work in some way.
This is the typical kind of place that would inspire me, because I just look for things that are unnoticed things all of the time.
I love this corner here. That little loft up there.
Yeah.
That looks like the perfect place to sit.
I love run-down buildings.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't do this one up.
No, I think this is what it's used for.
I'm hoping they're going to leave it just like this.
Yeah, it needs the dye house is beautiful. Next, we need you to ask a question. We don't know who we're going to be speaking to next.
Does it have to be about...
It could be anything that's spicy, anything. So we've already had...
That's tricky.
We've already had what inspired you to do what you're doing, and is this the job you always wanted to do, or did you put yourself... So we've had those 3 questions.
Okay, do you only sell your art or your design or whatever you sell, or do you have another job as well?
Okay.
Because I think that's quite a good question, because I think a lot of people have to support themselves in other ways.
It's a deep philosophy, isn't it?
I don't know, that's only personally from my point of view.
I would love to just do this for a living.
I'd like to just do this, but I always have to juggle and find other things to do, like teaching or running workshops or community work, different things. And I love that too, but I think as an artist, I don't know if there's that many people that can just do that.
You have to have that
100% of the time to also be making a living doing it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at moving into doing something like this as a full-time job.
Yeah.
Which I always wanted to do. This is what I always wanted to do. But there's a little bit inside me that's going, once I'm doing it and it becomes a job, will it still be fun?
Yeah.
And there's that thing, I was talking to Gary Drew about commissions, and he was like, he'll only take a commission if he likes it, or if he thinks it'll look good for it. If he knows he can do it, he'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I feel like, because I'm not so much doing commissions, but I when I run like arts workshops, printmaking workshops, I feel that I would miss that, and that does feed back into your work, because when you're teaching and working with different groups of people, you do get things out of showing someone a technique that you use. You get something out of it yourself as well, even though you're showing someone how to do it.
Yeah, wonderful.
So it kind of goes round.
Yeah, getting inspiration. We were talking about that with you, Leon, earlier with me. With DJ Rags, who's playing music for us, picked up DJing from the age of like 75 and went on a course with younger people, learned from them, they learned from him.
Yeah.
And that's something so beautiful.
That's
so
amazing,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you got any questions for...
Not that I know of, no.
No, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming to speak to me. I know you're a little bit nervous.
That was very nerve-wracking.
No, people say this all the time, but we had a good time. We enjoyed speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I was just wandering around. So of course today we are at the flax mill in the dye house, and I've bumped into a friend who I used to work with at the Shrewsbury Prison, Vicky. All right, got a microphone here.
Yeah, how
Good
are
to
you?
see you. I'm good, thank you.
It's nice to see you. It's a nice surprise, actually. It was the last time we saw each other, we were like zombies and stuff at the prison, which was great. Good. Happy times. You're working here at the flax mill now, right?
Absolutely, I've been here about 6 months.
Yeah. This is so my son Leon lives in Wrexham, and I was explaining the flax mill and its importance to the world, really. So this is like a gem that we have in Shrewsbury that we should be talking about and telling people about, and I'm sure you get people from visitors
Oh
from
yeah,
all around the
we're
world.
massively important. We're the grandparent of the skyscrapers. It's the first iron frame building in the world. We get
That Michael just led it.
people from America and all around the world.
Yeah.
We've renovated 4 buildings. We've got 6 to go. We've had over £20 million in funding so far, which the lottery was a huge amount of that. So we're very grateful to them. But yeah, it's been great getting all the people we've had in so far. But we're just continuing trying to spread the word now.
Yeah. So it's not finished yet. I thought it was like
Oh, we've still got loads to go.
wow, that's exciting.
Very exciting, yeah.
So you guys are still working whilst open to the public. You guys still be
Yeah, absolutely. The dye house that we're in now, that's one of the buildings that still needs reservation. Then you can see the beautiful cast iron roof above us.
Yeah.
That's going to need entirely redoing. The apprentice house, where the children who used to work in the mill, where they lived, that's going to be done up as apartments. So
Wow.
it's all very exciting.
We were just talking to Zoenso, a great artist, and she was talking about how she hopes that this stays like this. Like, what's the plan? Is it to keep
I don't know the plans exactly myself, but I hope it does stay quite industrial like this because it's a really beautiful rustic setting.
Yeah. I remember actually about 3 years ago, probably two or 3 years ago, I sat here with James Hitchin, who ran the Alban and Bombos. He's got a new food truck, which I'm going to bring to you guys soon. I've been chatting to James about this, but we sat a little picnic table here. Early days, like, I mean, you had nowhere near finished yesterday, and we just sat in this empty room. They had a festival here, I think they did, and it's just such a nice place to be. It's weird, isn't it? It's that history coming together with the town.
It's a really nice atmosphere, and we want to be a community space and a place for everyone.
Yeah, well, we love it here, and thank you as well, because I was messaging you on Messenger about, we brought Timmy here, Lovely Land. We're doing a great Easter hunt here, as well as doing what Lovely Land do and promoting organic growth of vegetables and
just doing everything fantastically.
I love Lovely Land, they're fantastic.
Who doesn't?
So what are the plans for the summer then? Have you guys got stuff up and coming? You say you've got half term coming. You've got any plans?
I don't think it's been announced yet, so I don't think I can say yet, unfortunately. But
Okay.
watch this space because
Yeah.
it's coming up soon.
Okay, wonderful. And what does an event like Drawn mean for the flax mill to have something like this here?
Oh, I mean, as you can tell from the atmosphere today, it's wonderful. It brings the whole place to life. We love having events like this here because, it just brings the whole community in. It brings the site to life. It's just, it's great.
It's culture as well. It's art, isn't it? Bringing art together again. Like I
Absolutely.
just mentioned, like the little podcast. What I meant was culture and history coming together is super important. And I guess Drawn, all these wonderful artists might take influence from this and take that away. It's a symbiotic thing, isn't it? Culture is very, very important. It all lies in with our heritage. And Shrewsbury is such a great place for that, especially having the flax mill right here. So you've been here? Did you say you've been here 6 months?
Just over, yeah.
And what's the progression been like for you? Has it been a lot to take on? Has it been nice to learn about this build? I mean, how's that been for you?
It's been interesting because I've worked in lots of different places before. It's been interesting doing this specific type of heritage because obviously I've worked in the prison before. That is very different to working in an old mill. So learning kind of the ropes here and working with such a large team of volunteers and where everything is still being renovated, that's been quite different for me. But it's been really interesting to learn, and working with the lottery and things has been great.
And it is an interesting question because we mentioned it earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
About being a tourist in your own town. How many people do you get coming to you from Shrewsbury that say to you this is the first time that they've visited something like this in their own town? Do you know what I mean? Like, people drive past this all the time, probably never visited.
Quite a few. Most days we get coming in saying, "Oh, I didn't know you were here," or "Oh, wow, I didn't know the place was open." So
Yeah, we did a great podcast last year with I was just after the pandemic. We're in Shrewsbury Castle and the Soldiers of Shropshire Museum that they got there, and we were talking about that quite a bit because I think it's nice, isn't it? We're all so busy in our lives. We're always going from A to B, work here, there, take the kids here, do this. Sometimes it's really good to just slow down and be like, no, I'm going to the quarry or I'm going to the flax mill.
Yeah, absolutely. Promote what's here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you so much for letting Cherie come and do Drawn here.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
And I'm looking forward to doing some work with you guys in the summer.
Oh, I can't wait.
It'll be great. Thank you so much.
That's all right.
Social media things, where can people follow you?
Flax Maltings on Instagram and Facebook. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Right, so we got Luke Crump. I love chatting to you because I feel like you're so down to earth when it comes to your art and what you do, because it's just such a natural thing for you.
Yeah, well, I think art in itself does keep you quite grounded. It's quite like a meditative process to be able to
You were talking about that earlier, weren't you? That he may not be good at art, but he loves doing it as he's doing it.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. Although my style might appear quite chaotic and a bit wild, there's a lot of calmness that comes with the creation of it, I think, in the past, I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, I have a history of OCD, which I've managed to overcome.
Wow.
But, so that...
How would that affect your art?
Well, I feel it does represent itself in the way I guess the pieces have some order to them. Although, so if you look closely at like a crazy doodle piece, it's got a lot of, structure. So it wasn't to do with cleaning. It wasn't about that. It was more like order.
Is that okay? So I was doing an interview about imposter syndrome yesterday.
Yeah.
And I've just been speaking to a lady who's walking around here today. We did it at Rihanna. I can say her name. She's talking about her podcast and when she came on, and it did really well. People were talking about it, which is really, really nice to hear. But I thought I effed that podcast up. Right, I was having imposter syndrome whilst I was doing it.
Whilst you were doing it?
Which is very, very rare for me.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was overly like arrogant and usually I'm really laid back. We've done podcasts before.
Yeah, you're a great host, Alex.
Thank you. And it's an interesting thing to have it whilst you're doing the art, because I feel like when you're doing the art, when you're making the thing, it goes away, tend to.
Yeah, it's only until the end normally, as you say, when it happens.
You look at it and you're like, what was that?
Yeah, but it's just about self-belief, and it's funny with being like a creative, I suppose, like yourself, because you are a creative guy.
I like to do the talkie.
Nobody tells you you have to do this, or if you wanted to be a doctor, for example, you kind of the path, but art is just something, or an artist you choose, I suppose, which that's probably maybe why imposter syndrome is a thing, because you're like, I'm not an art, I'm just a guy.
I feel like your success though speaks for itself. I mean, people know who you are. Do people come up to you a lot?
Well, this afternoon has been really busy. Yeah, the Instagram crew. It's funny because you don't know people from their faces, but I feel like if everyone walked around with a username on, you'd be like, but yeah, no, social media is great, and doing things like this, meeting people, is just the way to get in front of people.
Yeah, and you moved away from Shropshire for a little bit. Now you're back here.
Yes, sad times. I did. I'm currently near Chester, so not too far away. But I do satellite around Shrewsbury. Down for the food festival actually this summer.
Yeah, that's what I was hinting at. You got my segue. The food festival. I'm really interested because I know you've done Car Fest.
That's right, yeah.
And you've done live draw-alongs, but I'm really interested I've never seen anything like this before.
No, neither have I. I've not done a food festival, so we'll see how it goes. I can imagine there'll be a lot of food-related illustrations and imagery going on, and hopefully a lot of eating going on. No, I've not done a Shrewsbury festival, but I hear it's a really great event, and the team at Shropshire Events are brilliant.
Yeah. We've been there for the last 2 years. It's one of the best. I think your brother Alfie came with us the 1 year.
To what?
The food festival, and we had such an amazing weekend. There's so much going on there. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see you there.
Oh,
because am I right in saying was it Car Fest? Was it Car Fest where you actually designed like T-shirts and stuff like from what you did.
So this year as well as last year, I've done the merchandise designs for the festival. So
wow.
to see literally hundreds of people walking around with designs on that you've made is quite special, and even some celebrities with repping.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, no.
If you can call them that. B-lists, but no, still it's pretty magical.
But to see people walking around in your designs, I mean, we're highly from. I think it's actually on audio. Me talking about the shoes that you designed for Aaron Child.
Yeah.
Because I was interviewing, I was like, "Oh, look at your shoes," and he's like, "Luke Crump." I was like, "I want them right now. Take them off your feet."
Well, yeah, maybe I should get into shoe production because I did some light up trainers for Aaron, who's a great guy. But
How does it make you feel when you see a piece of your art blown up? You know, when you walk past it, what's going through your head? Are you proud?
Yeah, definitely. I think the larger pieces are more eye-catching. So for me, like seeing a larger piece up, and when people send me pictures of like art in their homes, it's like that is the icing on the cake. Because you send off a piece, you might never see it again, but if someone takes the time to properly frame it and have it nice, or wherever they put it, and to send you a photo in its new forever home, it's really good feeling.
Well, I was just watching you making a purchase there. I was waiting for you to come out, and the guy that bought it kind of looked at it and walked away and smiled, and I was like, that's nice. No, but it's nice to see that.
Yeah, it's really nice.
He was very happy.
Yeah,
he's bought a piece off you.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm still discovering myself through art, I suppose, but using art as kind of a positive, impact and sending a good message out there is what I'm all about. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of positive influences, we're doing a question relay.
Okay.
So
I thought you were going to link to a sponsor then, Alex.
Oh yeah. Coming to you from today. We are bringing in the sponsors to the show, but Zoenso over there next door to you.
Yes.
She asks you, do you only do this or do you have a job as well?
At the minute, I only do this. I used to be in retail, supermarket work, but I've managed to just go for it.
How is that as a movement? I mean, I imagine that's daunting. Can you imagine giving up your job and being like, I'm going to do this thing that I love and only this?
I know exactly what my mum would say.
What my mum would say. Well, my mum probably said the same thing. No, my parents have always been supportive, but I used to be in retail. Just saved up basically and was able to just go for it. Just trying lots of different things. Yeah.
Is it paying off?
Yeah, I mean,
that's probably a really personal question.
No. It's,
are you now broke, Luke? That's what
I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm eating every day. We'll put it that way, and I'm not very hungry. So,
do you think
starving artist is a myth?
you gotta make to survive. Yeah. It's dog eat dog. It's a philosophy that's talked about with many artists across the many different spectrums of art. Do you think it's a really important move for an artist to take that leap of faith?
No, I don't think so. You can do. I mean, I've been to quite a few people who've got side hustles or full-time job. I don't know how they do it with kids as well. It blows my mind, but it probably does keep you a bit grounded and to be inspired by, things outside of your scope.
I've been thinking about it quite a bit actually because I'm looking into moving into content creation as a job.
Okay.
And it looks like it's going to happen. I won't say imminently. I don't want to scare my current employers. But like it's something like. But then I think about like I do the biscuit and I have a full-time job as well, right? But my full-time job makes me look forward to coming to do the biscuit stuff.
Ah, yes. Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you say that, when you say you got to
yes, there is that caveat where it becomes a job. It's something you love to begin with. And you have to do the work, even if you don't always feel like it. But I get what you're saying there. Yeah.
Do you ever swamp yourself in work sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Like, yes.
I somehow manage to get through. I think it's good to have a deadline because otherwise I'd just be messing around. But I do like to take on maybe a bit too much, but
And you gave me one of the greatest gifts I think I've ever received off anyone, really. And he's like, what is this? The drawing you made of us.
Oh, yes. Of the little artwork. Sorry, I forgot about that.
It is one of the nice, genuinely. Yeah. Like he was like getting worried then. He's like, what's going on here? Was it surprise? But that artwork you did for me, I had it made me tear up. It was wonderful.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
I don't know if I showed you, but I will show you. Luke, he drew me. Like
I did a little kind of album cover almost for
You did?
for the episode. Yeah, I just did it on a train on the way back from doing the podcast.
I love it. I just whipped it out while I was on the way to crew on a trail.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. No,
thank you so much. Luke, you are an inspiration to artists because, like I said, it just flows so naturally for you, and it does. Like, you know, it just. I've seen some of your work on your social media is great. You know, when you drawing and it just seems to flow out of you.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind. But I'll go and pop back. It's great atmosphere here.
Have you got a question for our next guest? You don't know who it is?
Oh, I don't know who it is.
We've already had what inspires you. Is this the only job you've had? Would this building inspire you?
What is your favourite kind of biscuit?
Okay.
Is that one we've had before?
No, that works.
No, okay.
That works.
Because Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, thank you.
Or does it have to be art related?
No. It doesn't have to be at all.
Biscuits are art anyway, it's fine.
Biscuits are art.
No rules.
And on that note,
thank you very much, Luke.
Okay.
It's been great. Thank you. Okay, so I joked about this last year when we came here, but I do believe we are sitting in the presence of one of Shrewsbury's greatest social media stars.
Who's that then?
Tat Effby, the cake cartoonist. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. We were just talking before we came on about owning
oneself.
Yes, owning ourselves and leaning into a compliment. So, all right, thank you very much. It's very kind.
Yeah, I got told if someone offers you an apple, take the apple. You wouldn't offer it you if you didn't have enough apples.
If you had false teeth, you might not take the apple.
I don't know, though. What are these teeth doing in my apple? Oh, I get what you're saying now. Okay. So you've been busy.
I've been so busy.
Since the very first moment we spoke at the open studio.
Yes, long time
ago. So Leon, how me and Tat met, I turned up for an art exhibition fair.
Yeah.
We'll say it fair. Art fair. And they didn't make space for me. They were like, sorry, we forgot. So Tat was like, "I'll budge you up, you're all right." And so we sat on the same table.
Wow.
So Tat was doing her work.
Scooched up, didn't we? And like squished on a single table. Yeah.
And we bonded that day. It was nice.
We had a good old chat, didn't we? Yeah.
And here we are now.
Yeah. Well, that's quite a few years on now, isn't it? It's going to be at least 4 years.
Well, we're coming up on the 5th year of the Shrewsbury Biscuit this October.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking, because I haven't started my pod aid planning yet, I'm a bit stressed about it. And we're not all just, it hasn't been decided, but I was thinking for our 5th year anniversary, it'd be nice to do pod aid then, on that same day.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
That'd be quite cool.
Yeah. What month is that then?
October.
Right.
I can't remember the exact day, but when we first
that's dangerously far away, isn't it, October? That's kind of like, I don't need to think about that just yet. Put it off.
Pod aid, I remember last year we were like, we've got like 5 months to do it. And it was such a stress because I had to like sit down and pretty much whole days lost just emailing people. It takes a long time to plan, but I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do pod aid because I was kind of like, it's a lot to take on, and I'm trying to look for another job as well at the same time. It's kind of,
there's only so much you can do, isn't there?
Yeah. But that being said, it's a great event, so if we can do it, we will.
I shall watch this space.
Yeah. So the cake cartoonist.
It's the Caketoonist.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God's sake.
I said it properly earlier as well. I introduced it.
Don't lie.
It's only because it's you. I'd have walked out if it was anyone else.
What is this service? The Caketoonist as a journey. I think I remember speaking to you when you just bought the stand. I don't know if you've been buying. You showed me the stand that you bought with me and Cherie.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if you'd done any filming yet. It must have been early days.
I don't think I had. No, I think I was getting all the kit set up to do it, and I probably hadn't really done anything. No, because I think one of the drawns, that was like the day before I then changed everything from Tat to the Caketoonist. So it was like on the Sunday I was at drawn being Tat, and then on the Monday I launched the Caketoonist.
Are you like David Bowie? Have you got different personalities, different Ziggy Stardust?
You say like existing on some raw eggs and vodka? No.
No, but I mean like you've got Tat Effby.
Yeah.
You got the Caketoonist.
Yeah.
And you got other things that you do as well.
I think probably I've only got the 2. So
because you're very good. You're very good on TikTok. I love it.
Thank you.
There are days when I'll be like, you know, sort of going through life like, and I'll see one of your videos, I'd be like,
I love that, and people do say that to me. So that actually does make, because sometimes you do think, why on earth am I doing this?
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of effort. And then, but people are very nice, and a lot of people say that it cheers them up, which is great, because if they knew how I was feeling when I was making them, sometimes it'd be like, oh my God, is it worth it, Tat? But it is worth it, because the end result is fun.
Because it's food.
Yeah.
Food is unpredictable, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't always do what it's supposed to do.
And also I make things extra elaborate, not the recipes, but so I have to think of a recipe, then I have to film it, and then I have to edit it, and then I have to write jokes for the voiceover. So it's like, why don't you make life really difficult for yourself?
But I love your wit. You're just so good with it, honestly. It really does, Jim. I mean, guys, if you listen to this, go to the Caketoonist.
The Caketoonist.
And one of your videos that actually really made me go, oh my God, that's amazing, was the makeup one in bed where you're like, feeling ill again. And you were like, whatever, with the makeup. And I was just like, I don't put makeup on every day.
No.
But I feel it.
You could have done that look, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, I don't put makeup on every day. That's a lie. There are days when I've got up and put makeup on, you know what I mean? Because that's how I roll.
Sometimes you need a little bit of help, don't you?
Otherwise, people would run.
Yeah.
They would run. They'd be like, oh my God, he's back!
Well, I have actually realised that if I did nothing else, if I just gave up making cake videos, then I would quite happily just do bad makeup videos. Because it makes me laugh.
The tuition, but make it really, really bad. Who was that? There was one that went massive a while ago, and it was a woman that would look like she was just absolutely mullering all this makeup on, and she, at the end of it, she looked actually quite good, but then you're thinking,
I am obsessed with those things on TikTok, because a lot of the time you think, what have you done to your face? Or
what have you done?
But I don't understand is how they're putting 50 to 60 products on their face, and it just looks the same. They're going, and this is a dewy glow blow, and this is a revitalizing blah, 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 blah. And you think, but you're just putting something on top of something on top of something else. I don't understand.
I was just talking with a content creator just now. Where's she going? And she was just saying that I haven't asked permission to mention it, so I'll mention it. But she was I was talking about how I was mentioning you actually, because you were saying that you had a friend that just threw something on TikTok and automatically gets 1 million. You know, I mean, there's people that do next to nothing and get millions of followers, and then there's me spinning plates with a biscuit, and I'm kind of I'm trying to drag every follower in that I can get. You are doing something unique. It's different. I know people are doing food stuff, but the way you're doing things, I think, is super, super unique.
Well, that's what I hope. I hope that you'll get a recipe that you can actually recreate if that's what you want to do. But also, like you say, you might get cheered up. You might get a joke or two. You might get a pun. You'll definitely get a pun.
Yeah, definitely get a pun. I love that. Yeah. That's what I love about it. But I feel like there's something about. I mean, so Marcus Bean, who's been on the show recently, and we're going to be doing a lot of work on Marcus Bean. But he does his Marks and Spencer's voice, right? So I'm going to make my chocolate brownies. Grab an egg. You know, that's unique to him. With you, it's just so Tat. I look at it and I'm like, that's so, because you are like that in real life. I like that.
Yeah, I haven't got an M&S voice, although I did do a Nigella voice in last night's Oreo cheesecake one. I did a
I haven't
Nigella.
caught that one yet.
Yeah, you need to watch the end, and you'll get a bit of me doing Nigella. It's not pretty.
Do you have fun doing it, or is it hard
I do.
work?
No, well, it is hard work, but I have fun doing it. And then when I look back on them, I think, oh, actually, that's quite good. That's fine.
And how long does it take from conception to completion of a video?
It entirely depends on so I did a set custard cake a couple of weeks ago, and it had 2 cakes, it had a syrup, it had a custard, and then you constructed it. So making the actual cake itself took hours, and of course then there's the associated footage, which then takes hours to edit. So a whole thing could take a day. You know, you're looking at a day.
You don't think about this, do you? You know, when they're like, here's one I made earlier. You don't think, actually...
Yeah. So I try. I'm not very good at it, but I try and intersperse an extremely complicated one, which is complicated for you looking at it, but also me making it, to something that's much more simple, like stick a biscuit in, put some cheesecake mix on it, bam, you've got a cheesecake. Because it's easier for you to make, but also it's easier for me to edit. So, you know, I try and do a mix.
Do you get any messages off I'm not say busybodies. That's really people that think they know better.
Oh, good God, you wouldn't believe. I call it recipe splaining. People tell, and often it's...
You're not supposed to butter the pan.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Margaret.
You get a lot of people going, do this, do that. And I think, well, you do this and do that, but I did this.
And look how nice it is.
I'm the one making the video. So I look forward to seeing your video on your recipe. But I try and be good-natured because there's no point, like generally, people are just buying into having a chat about baking, so that's great. And you can spot the trolls, so you just ignore them.
I looked at this is the thing though, you're kind of like, oh, and for all the people that say I've got to do it this way, I'm doing it this way, you will say that on the video, and I love that.
Yeah.
You're kind of fighting back a little bit, which is really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. I really am, genuinely, as a friend, somebody who I've been working with, on and off with things that we've done.
Well, that's
to see
lovely.
you progress, it's really nice to see you being successful, because you deserve it. I mean, like, you work incredibly hard with what you do, and I think you deserve it. So well done.
Thank you very much, Alex, and likewise.
And what do you think of this year's drawn?
I think it's awful. I think it is absolutely spectacular. It feels like the space feels bigger. It feels like there's more people, even though I was here in November. It's the same space. It's not got bigger.
Bigger last year, but it's not.
It feels buzzy and it feels lovely and warm. It's literally warm because it's April rather than November, the end of November.
Oh yeah, because it was Christmas, wasn't it? I keep saying last.
Yeah, it was the very last weekend of November.
It was Christmas. Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here, just to sort of soak up the atmosphere and to do some drawing with the kids who are drawing on the whiteboard.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to do any new merchandise, so I knew that I wasn't.
Is that kind of nice? Does it take a bit of pressure off you a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I woke up this morning, I just threw some pens in a bag rather than spending all day yesterday like packing,
folding up tote bags.
Tote bags and aprons and prunes and this, and how am I going to fit it all on my table? Yeah, so no stress. It's been great.
That being said, can people still buy stuff off you?
They can. They can go to my social media links, The Caketoonist, and there'll be links to my shop. So everything's on an online shop. If they're desperate, if they suddenly think, God, I need an apron, that's where they can go.
We've got a question for you. We're doing a question roulette. Question relay. I did say to Leon, I was like, we should do something like the question relay, but a little bit different. He goes, no. We'll stick to the question relay.
Yeah.
So,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What did Luke Crump? Luke Crump asked you, what is your favourite biscuit and why?
Oh, apart from the Shrewsbury Biscuit, obviously, which are rubbish, aren't they?
No, unless they're made.
Oh, well, my Shrewsbury
Biscuits, yeah. So Tat made me Shrewsbury Biscuits once with a blackcurrant marshmallow filling.
I forgot about those. They were good, amazing, weren't they? They were good. My favourite biscuit, let me think. I would probably say it's not that far off a Shrewsbury Biscuit, actually. It's just a plain shortbread.
Yes.
Yeah. Classic, isn't it?
Is that what you're going for, Leon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've always said this, and it's never changed. It's the Fox's cream biscuits, the big, thick ones.
With the cream in the middle?
Yeah, the really thick ones. Because they're like, dunk me!
Oh, I don't like dunking cream-filled ones.
Oh, but it's nice. They pop in your mouth.
Oh. No, you see, that's why I would go shortbread for dunking.
Yeah?
I don't know if it's just me, but do you know Ted Lasso? Oh, yeah, he has
yes.
little shortbread.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, when I'm watching that, my mouth is watering.
Yeah, they're really thick, aren't they? Yeah.
They're like really gooey as well.
They're like the biscuits I remember making in school. Like the standard biscuits, which I guess is not that dissimilar from a Shrewsbury biscuit, really.
No, it's
lemon.
Not. Yeah.
My mother-in-law is an amazing baker. She's wonderful. She really is genuinely talented. And if you listen to this, Gloria, I love you. But I was like, there's a business idea. We could have had like Shrewsbury biscuits here.
Could have done, yeah.
So 50p each. Made a bit of money, but I just haven't got that business sense, and I don't want to ask my mother-in-law if she wants to come into business with her son-in-law. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit awkward. But we need you because we're gonna. Time is it now? Yeah, we're gonna pack up in a second.
Yeah, you're gonna go.
But tomorrow, set us up for the question relay.
Yes.
Have you got anything for the next guest? And we don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be another day, so it could be anybody. Keep it spicy though. Something.
Okay. Bath or shower?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great one. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. Bath or shower.
And I'm not going to specify what type of shower or what type of bath.
I can't remember was it I think it was Kids Fest. It was Kids Fest, and one of the people we spoke to was like, "What colour underwear are you wearing?" And it was a Kids Fest, and I think it was like a group of kids I was sat next to, and I was like, "Yeah, we're not asking that one. I'm sorry.
Can you think of something else?
Yeah. So,
all right, what colour bra are you wearing?
What? Yeah.
I can always tell anyway. I'm like, I'm joking. But Tat, lovely to see you.
It's been lovely to see you, and thanks for talking to me
good luck
again.
with everything. All right.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye. So that's the end of day one. We're going to put a pin in this. We're going to release this as 2 separate episodes. So if you're finishing now and you want to hear what goes on in day 2, make sure you flip the cassette over, because that's where I'm only joking. Look for day 1 and day 2. We're going to have 2 separate podcasts. But what have you thought of day 1?
Well, so far so good. You know, I'm not going to call it a good day until tomorrow, obviously. But
Yeah, because tomorrow could be even better.
exactly.
But today has been fantastic. The only problem we've had is I didn't bring my portable microphone out, so I can't go to people's stalls and speak to them there. I'm kind of expecting them to leave their stalls and come here and sit with us, which if like Luke had to leave his stall by itself and then come and speak to us.
I have a feeling the minute we start packing up, everyone's like, "Oh, we're ready to come do a podcast now."
Well, what we're going to do here tomorrow is we're going to get here super early.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Cherie what time is the earliest we can get here, and then we'll speak to people before people start coming through the door. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a share, and I'll try and put a link to all the artists that have been featured into this in the readout. So as you're watching this, if you look somewhere at the bottom of the screen, maybe there'll be a readout. There'll be links to all the artists' sort of Instagrams and link trees and stuff. So please support local artists. Have you learned anything today?
Well, I've just learned that it's never too late to try something new.
DJ Rags.
Yep.
Yeah, and passing his wisdom on. A lot of the people we've spoken to today are people that have been on the show before. In fact, I think all people that we've spoken to today, apart from DJ Rags, has been on the show before. So it's been nice to catch up with old friends, but hopefully we'll make some more too. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode, and have a great day. Peace out.